Looks like we're live. Cool. I'll be right back, guys. All right. Well, guys, welcome to the stream. I hope y'all are having a great day. It is chilly outside here in Central Texas. So we're all bundled up, living the dream. I do have to be careful today because my puppies are yelling at me. But we are doing good. I hope y'all are having a great day. We are going to be watching the AMD live stream. We've got some benchmarking going on our other PC, so the setup's a little different today, but we are going to be doing it. It's going to be awesome. We've been making YouTube videos about this latest graphics card for quite some time, and let's be purely frank real quick. I'm super stoked with this latest graphics card that's going to be coming. I think that's the right audio. Actually, that's console audio. We want to make sure we've got our gameplay audio. Let's see. And if y'all are new to the stream, appreciate y'all coming by. If y'all have got any questions or if y'all want any early predictions for the launch, we do have a few minutes before the stream starts. We can actually do a quick All right, so we should be back, hopefully. That was my puppy. I see the audio's bouncing around now. We should be getting here, starting the stream here shortly. Everything looking good on my end. Let me guys know in chat if y'all have got thumbs up, thumbs down. Travis, good to see you, man. Abraham, good to see you as well. Hopefully everything's going fine here on my end. We are going to be doing our live stream. We do have our stream deck rocking and rolling. So basically, oh, of course I don't have that turned on. Boop, there we go. So we've got the live stream from AMD. This is the RDNA2 live stream. They're going to finally be revealing the sweet, sweet sauce that we've been looking for the past few weeks. I'm super excited. We've been reporting on our interpretation of the different leaks coming from various different YouTubers out there. Moore's Law is Dead, Red Gaming Tech, not an Apple fan. And I've been mainly focused on what is the actual frames per second going to look like from these graphics cards. And y'all have been enjoying my videos. I've been loving to putting them together. And today we're going to be actually fact-checking myself as well as comparing against what the actual leaks are. I do have lots and lots of supplemental information that we can be feeding in. There we go. We got the stream audio. We got 2 minutes to go, but we've got some predictions. If y'all didn't watch my previous video, we do have quite a bit of leaks going into it. The top of the stack is going to be the 6900 XT, 80 compute units. People are saying it's going to boost to 2300 megahertz. I'm still not sold on these super duper high frequencies, especially on the top end cards, but we will find shortly what the truth is. And then, of course, we're going to be hopefully hearing about the 6800 XT. That's going to be the rumored RTX 3080 direct competitor. And we're also going to hopefully be hearing about, that's going to have 72 compute units. Let's not skip around. And then we've got the 6800, which is not an XT variant. That one's rumored to have 64 compute units. I think it's going to be boosting 2300 megahertz or 2100 megahertz. Again, y'all can definitely go check back on that video if you're interested in that. But guys, we are like within seconds from it. Let me know in chat if y'all have got any predictions that yourself. I'm really interested in hearing about ray tracing performance, because we've been hearing a lot about the that it's going to be as good as Turing or a little bit better than Turing. And then I've also wanted to hear if there's going to be a DLSS competitor, or even if there's like a DLSS implementation, similar, of course. So really looking forward to seeing that and hearing about it. But here we go, guys. We are 10 seconds out, and pardon the background noise. My little 6-week-old puppy is, or I guess it's 12 weeks old now. He is just downstairs causing a ruckus. All right, let's do it. We'll go full screen. Ooh, this gives me chills every single time seeing all of this information coming up from... All right, we've seen this before. Little bit of Dirt 5. I think that's cool. I think we actually saw Dirt 5 from the Xbox. I think, what's it called? Digital Foundry. Sorry if I brain farted there. But we saw some of that gameplay with his back compat testing. Rift Breaker. That's kind of cool. It looks to be, ooh, Far Cry 6. Nice. This has got that one guy from Breaking Bad as the Presidente. No one cares about Warcraft anymore, man. Nice. So we have seen this graphics card. What we haven't seen about it, compute units, frequencies, 1440p results. I'm kind of curious if they're going to be as heavily relying on 4K results.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today for this second half of our next-gen PC platform launch. I loved seeing all of your excitement when we introduced the Ryzen 5000 series a few weeks ago.
Get it hyped.
It was actually the most watched launch video in AMD history.
I've been editing.
And I must say, we're very proud of what Zen 3 brings to gamers. But today,
Zen 3 is
going to
rock, by the way.
Navi. I'm really excited to show you the new
you still have all your
architecture
Warcraft
and our
stuff.
full stack of Radeon Rx.
A decade ago, Warcraft 3 was really cool.
As you know, we brought the first generation of RDNA architecture to market in 2019.
I'm so glad they ditched
Radeon
those
RX
old blower fan
5700 XT.
reference designs.
And with the combined launch of the 5700 XT and the Ryzen 3000 series, AMD became the first company to introduce a high-performance CPU and GPU together. And we delivered a winning combination of computing and gaming performance.
The RX, I like the RX 580.
CPU and GPU of the year in 2019 from PC Gamer. Now, 2020 is
2019,
really the
they got
gamer.
the GPU of the year.
I know many of you
Was that
can't
the 5700
wait to
XT?
get your hands on the next-gen consoles. Whether it's the Microsoft Xbox Series X and Series S,
Dude,
or the
we've
Sony
been seeing
PlayStation
all
5,
sorts of
we are
unboxings
so
and stuff. I
proud
think
that AMD is
PlayStation's
enabling
finally
these
starting
incredible
to
gaming experiences.
get a lot of this stuff
Which is
out
why
to
we
their
like
reviewers.
to say that AMD is where gaming begins. Now, earlier this month, I
got
showed
the
you our
volume down a
new
little
AMD Ryzen 5000 series, the world's best gaming processor. Our next-gen Ryzen processor combines
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still
performance
testing
leadership in
my
single-threaded
5000
performance,
series processor.
gaming, and creative workloads.
I just got a BIOS
with
update
leadership
from the
performance
guy
per watt.
I'm going to
And
be
for
doing
millions
my
of you,
motherboard
it's a
with.
drop-in upgrade to your
So I'm
existing
making
AM4
sure
motherboard.
none of my results
Now,
changed.
as successful as we've been with Ryzen, many of you have asked us to compete
The big
at
thing
the
I've been
highest
seeing
end
from
of
the
gaming GPUs as well.
Zen 3
and today, we're ready
is,
to show you exactly
boost
what
clock.
we've been working on. I'm so excited to show you the Radeon
Not
RX
weirdness,
6000
it's just
series.
the boost clock
It's
seems
absolutely the
over-optimistic.
most powerful gaming GPU we've ever built. I think you'll be pretty pleased with what you see. I often
Stop,
talk about
stop,
the fact that we're on a
stop
journey,
small selling it.
and we are on a journey. Just like
All
with
right,
our
here's
Zen
that 50%
CPU
performance
architecture,
per watt.
We're on a multi-year
It's not
journey
to
in
scale.
GPUs with our RDNA architecture. We designed RDNA
But that's fine.
specifically for gaming. And our first-gen RDNA products delivered 50% better performance per watt over our GCN architecture.
Yep, we've got
We
that in the
wanted to take
video. If
another
y'all are
big
curious
step
how
with
they
RDNA2
actually calculate
and
it,
deliver
check
another
out
50% generational
FPS
improvement in
Confirmed.
perf
That
per
was the
watt.
video I put out a couple
And
weeks
with
back.
RDNA2, we also set the very ambitious goal to deliver leadership gaming performance. And now I'm
50%
very happy to
performance
show
per
you for the first time Big Navi. This is the chip
All right,
at the
that's the
heart
die.
of our high-end Radeon RX 6000
Angle it up a little,
series.
Lisa. Angle it up.
26.8 billion transistors
see it.
built with
Angle it up.
leading-edge 7-nanometer process technology.
We
Big
can't-
Navi
there
is
you
our
go.
first product powered by RDNA2. We have made
Oh,
incredible progress
we'll
on the
take pictures
architectural
and stuff
front.
later.
And now let me turn it over
So
to
it looked
AMD
like there was
fellow
two
Laura
halves
Smith to
to
give
it
you more
with equal
details
amounts
on
of
the
compute
architecture.
units on both sides.
Thank you, Lisa. Our graphics architecture
I'm not a fan
roadmap
of Laura
has a
Smith.
clear
She presented
goal,
last
gaming
year
leadership across the ecosystem.
for the I think it was
GCN
the
was a great
XT
architecture,
launch.
but we knew
for the
we needed to
processors.
rethink graphics and build the best engine for the future. We wanted to build a set of technologies that game developers could use across all platforms. The first major step was RDNA, introduced last year. RDNA was a new architecture and used a 7-nanometer process node, which helped us with the large initial gains. We committed to you that our engineers had plans in the works for RDNA2, and we would be back quickly with another significant improvement. By combining our
They did commit
expertise
to
in
that.
CPU design, deep gaming history, and broad ecosystem partnerships, RDNA2 is built to be the gaming architecture for all gamers.
All
across
gamers.
console, PC, and beyond. We had some very
Top
ambitious
end.
goals with RDNA2.
High performance compute
Significantly
units,
higher
revolutionary
performance,
infinity cache. There it
50%
is.
improvement in performance per watt,
There's the
and new
confirmation
hardware
for
features.
infinity cache.
Individually, each of these goals
All right.
is challenging. When combined, they become extremely difficult because as you push performance, a natural side effect is more power.
Oh
New
yeah.
features
High
also
power.
being more
One thing Moore's Law is
computation,
Dead has been
further
claiming ever since the
challenging
beginning
both speed
is
and power metrics. For
elevated
RDNA2,
efficiency.
we made significant gains in all these areas. The compute
I've started
unit is
doubting
the
this
core of
efficiency
the
claim back
architecture.
when the
We
TDP,
advanced
TBP,
all
TGP
aspects
stuff
of the
started
compute
coming up,
unit design,
and I really think that
leveraging
these
techniques
graphics cards
first
are going to be
developed in
pretty
CPUs.
power
We
hungry.
deployed pervasive fine-grained clock gating, reimagined the pipeline to aggressively maximize performance
Clock gating's
while
some pretty cool
minimizing
tech.
data movement. In combination, these elements
Except
made
for
the
when you're
compute
gaming,
units
because when you're gaming,
30%
your
more
graphics
energy
card is supposed to be
efficient,
fully open and
allowing them to be
parallelized.
pushed
That way,
faster.
the
Gaming at
architecture can
4K
utilize
requires
everything.
more data to be brought into the chip. The
All right,
amount
so
of data more than
2.1x,
doubles as we move from
17x the
1440p
bandwidth
to 4K. The more
at
efficient the
1
memory subsystem
or
is,
0.9x the
the
power.
higher
All right.
fidelity the images are, and the more you can push the frame rates. We took a new approach to solving this technical challenge.
I hate
for
the
gaming
teleprompters,
and
man.
deployed a graphics optimized.
They look like they're
high-density,
looking all off
high-speed
into the
cache
distance and stuff. It's like,
based
talk
on
to
the
me.
Zen L3 cache.
Talk to me.
We call this the Infinity Cache. The Infinity Cache.
All right, so
minimizes
256
DRAM
byte
bottlenecks, latencies, and power
G6.
consumption. Our specialized
So that's
Infinity
looking at
Cache,
basically
combined with a
the
256-bit
NVIDIA's memory
G6
interface between
interface,
the
delivers more than
3070
twice the
and the
effective
3080,
bandwidth of
using
a
both of
traditional
those
384-bit
different memory
G6
interfaces.
solution,
And
at lower power
delivered
consumption.
bandwidth
High frequency is
could
important for
be
gaming
a
performance.
marketing term.
RDNA2 is built with custom libraries and high-speed design flows.
Just because you've got a lot of
maximizing
bandwidth
frequency
going
in
on
7
doesn't
nanometer.
necessarily
With
translate
RDNA2,
into
our
performance.
silicon design and architectural improvements, we are able to deliver
30% frequency
faster
increase.
frequencies in the same 7-nanometer process node. Pulling all this together, the RDNA2
So that
architecture
30%
beats our aggressive performance per watt goal.
All right,
achieving
54%.
54%. With RDNA2, we also focused on bringing new hardware features.
So y'all
into
might
the
not have caught
architecture.
all that. We'll
We
probably
partnered
talk about it
closely
here
with
towards the end. I should
Microsoft
probably
on
take
DirectX 12
writing this stuff
ultimate
down.
features, including DirectX ray tracing,
we'll talk
variable
about it.
rate shading,
We'll scrub through the video
mesh shaders, and
when we
sampler
go do the
feedback.
recap.
RDNA2 will also support
But basically, the
Microsoft Direct
50%
Storage
performance
API.
per watt
We're excited
is
about
a
this new
combination
API
of
that will enhance the
IPC
gaming
improvement,
experience by
frequency
significantly
improvement, and
reducing
efficiency
game
improvement.
asset load times
It's
for
not
large
all just the clock
SSDs.
frequencies.
We compared the performance of RDNA2
So one thing
to
about
our
the
prior
frequencies
generation.
that I
And when
don't
we put
get,
it all together, on average, RDNA2
Yep,
delivers
2x,
double
1.x,
the
2.2x,
performance, and with
2.1x.
great power efficiency. We are so proud of what we've accomplished with RDNA2, and we are not stopping.
Confirmed.
The team is executing
Turk's
the
right.
plan.
Confirmed.
RDNA2 is here,
Turk's
and
right.
the RDNA3 team is well into execution. Let me welcome Scott Herkelman to show RDNA2.
So that's good.
and our new
So I'm really
RX
glad
6000 series product.
Performance per watt is a metric they've been using, and they've been sticking to the targets. And they are actually going and showing us what those performance per watt metrics were from their perspective.
Hello to all of the gamers tuning in, and welcome to our Radeon Rx 6000
Welcome to all
series
you
product
gamers.
reveal. As a hardcore League of Legends and Borderlands 3 player and playing these games on our RX 6000 series over the past few weeks, I'm so excited and proud to be here with
Hardcore
you
League
today.
of Legends
Allow me
player.
to introduce you to our brand new AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT graphics
There it
card.
is.
The 6800 XT is
2250 boost
to play
clock.
all of your favorite AAA
2
games
gig
at 4K
game
and
clock,
below
16
resolution,
gigs of
and
RAM,
at the
total
highest
board
quality
power, it
settings
looked like
available.
300 watts.
It comes with 72 compute units and runs with a game clock of over 2 gigahertz. This card features a 2.25
Come on,
gigahertz boost clock
pan over a little
that
more.
pushes some of the highest
There you go.
frequencies
There you go.
we've ever achieved.
300
All
total
thanks
board
to the
power. Okay,
incredible
cool.
work done by our
So
engineering team
the
on the
6800
RDNA2
XT, I
The
overestimated by
6800
20
XT
watts.
will also feature 128 megabytes of Infinity Cache that is power efficient while driving the bandwidth needed.
So that
for
boost clock is
high-resolution
not as
gaming.
high as everyone
Paired
was
with
claiming it
16
would be.
gigabytes
I should
of
pull up
blazing
my
fast GDDR6
my video.
memory. You'll be ready for the most demanding high-resolution games that you want to play. And we've delivered all of this incredible performance with a total board power of just 300 watts. As you can see, the 6800 XT not only delivers on 4K 60 frames
Battlefield
per second,
5, Call
but
of
in
Duty.
most cases, it overperforms.
So the Call of Duty
We've been
Modern
maxing
Warfare
out
number
all
went
the
up.
settings in
I
games,
think Borderlands
like
went
Battlefield
up.
5,
This is all the
Borderlands
data they
3,
collected.
and
This
Call of
is
Duty
all
Modern
4K
Warfare.
gaming as
And the
well.
performance has just been awesome to experience.
I need to get
Let's
all that
take a look at how the 6800
data
XT
pulled up.
competes head-to-head against the latest offering from the competition. Here, we compare their best API scores to our best API scores. The best versus the best. And as you can see, the 6800 XT trades blows and has some significant wins across a variety of titles. And it does all of this at less power consumption than the competition. For the 1440p
I'm getting
gamers
all these
out there,
games up.
we have some great results for you too. Over the last several years, more and more gamers have adopted 1440p monitors as their display of choice. Here are the same games we showed you
All right,
before,
Division
running
2
the
I
same
don't have.
best versus
Borderlands
best
3 I do
API
have.
scenario at 1440p resolution.
Call of Duty I don't
personally
have.
love
Doom
seeing
Eternal
so
I do
many
have.
games running at over 100
Forza
frames per second
Horizon, I
with all of the
don't think
settings
I
maxed
have.
out.
God, they picked all the wrong
This is just
games.
an incredible amount of performance. All in all, the 6800 XT is a fantastic choice.
We'll have to
for
scrub
enthusiast
back
gamers.
through the video once
We
this
even have
live
more
stream's done.
performance we are
But so
delivering with
far,
two
everything
very cool
I've
features. The
I've
first
claimed is
a
pretty
one-click
accurate.
overclocking button we've built into our Radeon software package
Rage
that we
mode.
call Rage Mode. Now, Rage Mode automatically takes advantage of the overclocking headroom built into your GPU to give you every bit of performance it has to offer. And the second is made possible because of the fact that only AMD can deliver both high-performance processors and high-performance GPUs. We call this new feature AMD Smart Access Memory. AMD Smart Access Memory unlocks
That's cool.
a greater amount of high-speed memory from the AMD Radeon RX 6000 series graphics cards to the AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors, and it delivers additional levels of performance in games. Simply pair these components with our 500 series chipset motherboards, enable the
I wonder how
setting in
that's
the
gonna
BIOS,
work.
and the performance uplift becomes automatic. When you combine AMD Smart Access Memory with the one-click overclocking of Rage Mode, you'll get
you
a
have
boost
to
in
turn on
performance
Rage
in
Mode for
many
that.
of the games you love. We're seeing up to a 13%
You don't want
performance
KK, I hear you,
increase.
man.
And that's before game developers begin to optimize
But this
for
is good
new
news. This is
capability.
like this
Now,
isn't the
we
top
know
tier
a lot of you
card, and it's
absolutely love
already
frames per second performance just like us.
it's already proving
However, we can
what we've been
also
saying
improve
for a
the
long
game
time now, that
experience by reducing latency.
the 6800
The
XT is going to
differences of
compete with the
milliseconds of
3080.
latency in a competitive game can be the difference between a major win
And there is
and
quite
a
a bit
major
of
loss.
delay between
Last
chat
year, we
and the
pushed
stream.
industry to
So if I'm,
recognize there was a
catching
better
you all a
way
little
to
off
provide
guard, let me know.
competitive gamers with less latency from mouse click to the screen, giving competitive gamers who own the RX 5000 series a serious leg up.
I
on
am
their
currently at
competition.
work right now, so
Today,
I do have
we
to
are
keep
pushing
checking
the
in.
boundaries again and further reducing latency.
Yeah, the
in competitive
6800's
games
looking
for even better results.
Pretty damn good, to be honest.
Combining the latest implementation of Radeon anti-lag with the FreeSync monitor can reduce lag in your DX9
I'm liking this.
and in your DX11
This is
game.
good stuff, man.
In
I hope
Fortnite,
you guys
for
are as
example,
pumped as I am.
Gamers can realize up to 8
Fortnite at
milliseconds
4K
of latency
epic.
reduction by simply enabling this feature in Radeon software. More recently, we introduced Radeon Boost, a unique feature
Yep, we've
that's
heard
a
about
step
Radeon
beyond
Boost.
anti-lag. For select games,
But
Radeon Boost
Barca,
offers
welcome to the stream.
dynamic
Glad you could join us,
resolution
man.
in response
Hope
to your
you're
mouse
enjoying
or
the
controller
Radeon
inputs,
hype.
leading to higher frame rates and as a
It is
result,
cold here in
quicker
Central
responses
Texas
to
today,
your
so I
inputs.
am
Both Radeon
camoed
anti-lag
with the
and
beanie
Radeon
on.
Boost can be enabled via the Radeon software that comes with
That's
your
funny.
graphics
He's got the
cards.
Konami
And
code
neither of
on
them
his
require
t-shirt. That's
a
cool.
proprietary API or a game integration to provide latency reducing benefits. As you can see, the combination of these technologies can contribute up to 37% latency reduction in highly competitive games like Fortnite running at 4K.
So I've got some
Now,
thoughts about this,
performance
and
is
we can
king,
talk about it here in a little
But
bit.
let's talk for a minute about how we are improving the visual experience as well.
All right, here we
With
go.
full hardware support for DX12 Ultimate,
Okay.
the Radeon RX 6000 series is ready to enable ray tracing and variable rate shading
Tell us
in
how it's
upcoming
done.
titles. We've also expanded our library of Fidelity FX features to work hand in hand with ray tracing.
So right now they're not
Compute
telling us
and
how the
shader
sauce
effects
is made.
To enable the
They're
higher
just saying
level
it's
of visual
compatible
fidelity
with DirectX
while ensuring
12.
high frame rates. For DX12 Ultimate, we've added an optimized denoiser for ray tracing effects and a variable rate shading algorithm that can adapt image quality based upon luminance and
Sorry for
motion.
the background
We've
noise,
also
guys.
added a suite of compute-based
Your
effects
wallet's
to
not
be
pumped.
used alongside ray tracing.
What, we
like
haven't heard numbers
optimized
yet.
Screen space reflections and an optimized ambient occlusion. We're always looking to help developers with new initiatives and are already working on a super resolution.
And that's
feature
key
to give
for here,
gamers an
guys. I
option
really
for more
think
performance when using ray
developer
tracing.
support is going to become
As
the
of
Achilles
today,
heel for
our AMD
both of these
Fidelity
companies.
FX supported games list has grown to 35 titles using a variety of our features. So let's take a look at some of these new features in an upcoming game with never before seen footage from Counterplay Studios and their fantastic game, Godfall. Godfall is a brand new third-person
DirectX 12 has
perspective,
built-in ray tracing. That's
next-generation
correct. And I'm
looter slasher
curious.
that challenges gamers to
So
engage in
I think we've been
high-impact
talking about
melee
this in
combat
Discord quite a
as they
bit.
hunt for
But
loot,
like
equip legendary armor.
the
and defeat
Unreal, or no,
vicious
the
enemies.
Crytek demo was
Leveraging
showing
the latest
some
DirectX 12
software-based
Ultimate
ray
API,
tracing. I'm kind of
Godfall features
curious
DirectX
if
ray
that's what
tracing,
AMD's.
variable rate shading, and supports DirectX
I'm
cast
started
to
benchmarking
deliver
3D Mark on
incredible
my
levels
other
of
computer.
stunning fidelity.
I wonder
personally
if
can't
they're
wait to
more
play this
heavily
game, and I
relying
think
on
it
the
looks absolutely
software-based
fantastic.
ray tracing
Now,
from
let's hear
engines
from a
rather
few
than
more of our game
accelerated
developer
stuff.
partners about the work they've done with us on RDNA2 and what you can expect in their games coming soon.
Okay, I'll keep this medium volume.
Far Cry 6 and some of the new technologies we've been collaborating
Yeah, I'm not too
with
concerned about that.
make our
So,
game the most
just a
immersive and
quick
beautiful
recap.
Far
Of
Cry
course,
ever.
we'll come back
We've
through
been
this
working
whenever
together
the
to
video's
take
done
full
or the stream's
advantage
done.
of the new
But
Radeon
basically,
RX 6000
the
series
6800 XT is going to be the 3080 competitor at 4K. There were some leaks from Red Gaming Tech, I think over the past weekend, that was saying at 1440p, the 3080 was actually better, or not the 3080, the 6800 XT was better, which I think is a great thing because if you're going to be gaming at 4K, you might want to, this is actually a really good card for 4K. It's got a bigger memory buffer. It's got 16 gigabytes as opposed to 10 from the 3080. And then if you just looked at the FPS performance improvements, it was significantly better. So I think 6800 XT is a winner as far as I can tell.
World of Warcraft is built on a custom engine using the DirectX 12 Ultimate API. Another great feature on the RX
Oh, wow, that's cool. Shadowlands is going to be DirectX 12 Ultimate, so you can start to expect some ray tracing and other cool effects. God, that just looks so garbage, man. No offense, Travis, but the game's just so old.
The RDNA2 architecture and the Radeon 6000 series allowed us to
Chief
introduce
Operations
some of the latest
Officer.
DirectX 12 Ultimate technologies into our engine. Real-time ray-traced shadows allow us to introduce additional shadow casting lights into the scene that provide much more immersion
All right, cool. Y'all
and
can't see my
detail
y'all
into
can't
the world.
see my work computer.
Over the next few weeks, developers of these incredible games will show never-before-seen gameplay with gorgeous graphics
October
that use a
29th
combination of
for,
ray tracing and fidelity effects
Dirt
running on
5,
the Radeon
Godfall
RX
November
6000 series
2nd,
graphics
game
cards.
partner
Be sure to check
Warcraft is
out
November 10th,
AMD.com starting
Rift
tomorrow
Breaker
to see
November
more.
12th,
I'm happy
Far Cry
to announce
6
that the Radeon RX
November
6800
17th.
XT will be available on November 18th, starting
$650.
at $649.
$50
But
cheaper.
we are not done yet. Today, we
Nice.
are also announcing the Radeon RX 6800.
All right.
With 60 compute units.
So
a
again,
1.815
I overestimated
gigahertz game
the
clock
total board
with a
power
boost
here
clock of
by
over
30 watts, which
2.1
is pretty
gigahertz.
consistent with what we
It
were
will
also
feature
getting.
the same 128 megabytes of Infinity
16
cache
gigs of memory,
and be
dude.
available with 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory with a board power of just 250 watts.
So the
Radeon
big question is going to
6800
be
is a fantastic
how
entry into
how
4K
well
gaming,
does it compare
delivering more
against
performance than
the
2080 Ti,
6800
which
or
was
the
launched
6800
at
XT?
$999. The 6800 delivers over 60 frames per second in all of these games,
Turk
giving you the
was right.
confidence
Turk
you
was
need to
right.
step into the
Turk
4K
was
gaming
right
experience.
again.
That
I
same
told you
great
the guys that the
performance
6800
extends
was
to
going to be
1440p
better than
resolution,
the
where the
3070
RX 6800 tears
3070.
through the latest
If y'all
games,
watched all the reviews that came
delivering
out
about 18%
yesterday,
more performance
the 3070
than the
is
2080
right on
Ti
top
on
or right
average.
below the
The
2080
Radeon RX
Ti.
6800 will be available to
$580
gamers
bucks.
starting at a price of
Woo!
$579.
They're
on
probably going
November
to announce
18th.
the 6900 XT
Now,
shortly.
let's bring back Lisa to wrap things up.
Yep. Wow, this wasn't even a 20-minute preview. She doesn't have anything in her back
Thanks, Scott and
pockets.
Laura. The AMD Radeon
I don't see anything in her back
6800
pocket.
XT and 6800 deliver simply incredible
My
4K
doggy's
and
not happy.
1440p gaming experiences. This is the power of RDNA2. And once we add the smart access memory
I want her
technology,
to hold it up like
gamers can
this.
even get higher frames per second when pairing Radeon 6000 GPUs with Ryzen 5000 series. Now, I saw online that some of you were wondering which big Navi product we previewed during our Ryzen 5000 launch earlier this month. For the record, that was the 6800 XT.
Jacob was right.
But you know,
Turk
we
was
always
right.
save the best
Turk
for
was
last,
right
and I always get the
again.
most fun jobs. So today, that means I have one more GPU to show you. We didn't stop with the Radeon RX 6800 XT.
Oh,
we knew
Lisa.
that the RDNA2 architecture
Oh,
could give gamers even
Lisa.
more. I'm so excited to share with you for the very first time the AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT. Now, isn't this just absolutely gorgeous? And you'll see that it's actually relatively compact for all the performance that it delivers. It's
Ooh,
actually the
that's
same
a
size as our 6800
a jab
XT
at the old
card.
NVIDIA right
Our
there.
top-of-the-stack Radeon GPU is built for the
Boost clock
ultimate
at
in 4K gaming
2250.
performance.
I was
The
right again.
6900
Oh, wow,
XT
that total
combines
board
80
power is
compute units
very
with
low.
a 2.25 gigahertz boost clock to deliver even more performance at the
300
highest
watts.
settings.
That
With
is
16
crazy.
gigabytes of graphics memory, the 6900 XT is ready
Sorry
for
if
the
I'm
most
yelling at you
demanding
guys
next-gen
now.
games. And with the power efficiency of RDNA2, we've been able to deliver all of this with a total board power of 300 watts.
That's crazy, man.
Now, Laura showed you that we
I
achieved
overestimated
a 54%
that one by
generational
60
improvement
watts.
in perf per watt with the 6800 XT.
65%.
With the 6900 XT, we improved things even
Right
more,
on.
hitting 65% more performance per watt over first-gen RDNA. I'm so proud of our engineers who worked incredibly hard to optimize
I love this,
every
dude.
aspect of RDNA2
And that was at 4K.
to achieve this performance. Now
This
let's see how all of this
hypes me up
translates to gaming
super
performance.
duper duper.
Running at 4K with the highest settings, the 6900 XT looks absolutely fantastic. It's extremely competitive across the board, consistently delivering high frame rates in your favorite games. Just take a look at the performance we see against the competition in Battlefield 5, Call of Duty, and Gears of War 5.
Guys. Holy
All of this
praise.
is at lower power with a smaller card form factor. Now, let's talk about price and availability. The AMD Radeon RX 6900
Oh my
XT
God.
will be available on December 8th, starting at
$200
$999. You asked for
That's
AMD
like
to bring the highest
$700
graphics
cheaper
performance to
than
the
a
gaming market,
3090, man.
and we're doing just that. I hope you now feel that with the Ryzen 5000 series and the Radeon 6000 series, AMD is your best choice for your next generation PC gaming platform. Whether you want a game with ultimate performance and AAA titles at 4K resolution, or you're an esports fan
Hit that
who needs
thumbs up on this
incredibly high
video,
frame
guys. We're going to be
rates and
talking about all this stuff
across
very
the board
soon.
for every gamer at every price, AMD has the CPU and GPU combination for you. So I hope you're as excited as we are. We can't wait to get these products in your hands. So look for the Ryzen 5000 series starting November 5th, the Radeon RX 6800 series starting November 18th,
11.5. Wow.
and the Radeon RX 6900 XT starting
Oh, that's
December
the
8th.
CPUs.
To wrap up here, this has
So
been quite a
mid-November.
journey for us. And I'm incredibly proud of our CPU and GPU teams who have worked years for this moment.
I am pumped.
AMD is delivering the best to the industry. We want to thank all of you for your passion
Very
and
cool, very
enthusiasm
cool.
and for always pushing us to be the best.
Dude, it's me, fam. Clap, clap, clap. Big old list of asterisks towards the end of the video. I'm just looking through all these asterisks before we slide into the post-reveal wrap-up because, wow, I don't know if we were expecting stuff to be this good, but I do think we have some positive stuff going forward. So let's slap that on. Cool. So, guys, let me know what y'all think in chat of how the event went. I'm shocked that it was only 27 minutes. It was only 25 minutes. And they just got it out there. They were like, guys, these are our graphics cards. And yeah, take it or leave it. I am shocked. Let me pull up the first real chart that they were talking about. So, lots and lots to talk about today. So I've got two different things I want to cover today. First is actually the reveal itself and how AMD did it, what they were able to cover, what they announced, all that stuff. Basically, what everyone else on YouTube is going to give you. But then you guys, you've got Turk here. I know a few things. I've been doing videos on this for the last few weeks. My performance predictions have been spot on. I am shocked with how well it's gone. So let's start it at the top of the video and let's talk about some of the goals that AMD had. So with GCN to RDNA, they wanted to have a 50% performance per watt, and they were able to get it. And they actually, if you calculate the different graphics cards they had, they were able to get up to 60% in some instances. And that's why they went into RDNA2 wanting that same design target as well, 50% performance per watt. We don't know which card they're comparing that to with this particular slide. There is another slide further down the video that we'll talk about. But what you'll notice here, though, is their scaling is a little weird. Now, usually it's not that big of a deal to not have the right scaling factors in your charts, but I do find it interesting that it's not exactly true. Maybe it's like 50% on top of 50% based on GCN, but basically we've got the 50% target right there. And then if we go further down into the video, we get our first die shot of the GPU. Let me see if I can get it on the video for you guys.
Set the very ambitious goal.
We're just going to mute Miss Lisa. I keep clicking past it. There it is. So I think this is a graphical rendering of it, so I'm not exactly sure how accurate it's going to be. But if you look there, we've got essentially two like CCD kind of things going on where they've got, what is it, 4, 8, 12, 16, yeah, 16, 18 blocks on each side. So we could probably start to do some math on that stuff. I'll be doing another video later this week talking about the entire forecast for all these different cards going forward. But it looks like we've got 18 blocks of compute units. I think those are compute units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 16, 17. Yeah, 18 on that. And then you've probably got your memory controllers on the top and the bottom, as well as you got some miscellaneous I/O. That's probably your PCIe controller there on the left. So we've got our first block diagram. We're probably going to get more information from, other YouTubers that actually got access to all the information. AMD declined to give me their press deck, which I was kind of upset about. But we're going to keep going on, and we're going to talk about, from our lady friend here, some of the other design stuff they were able to complete. High performance compute units, revolutionary infinity cache. It is confirmed that is what they've called it. It's not trademarked, which I find really interesting. I thought Red Gaming Tech confirmed that they had trademarked Infinity Cache. But basically, those leaks are all confirmed. And then this next one, where's it at? Pervasive fine-grained clock gating. I think this is one of the key components to how they're able to get their efficiency numbers with their power measurements. We'll talk about power more later with the actual cards. But clock gating is going to be able to get them there. And aggressive pipeline rebalancing, that's also part of the architecture refresh that they were doing from the ground up. And redesigning the data paths for efficient movement. Again, that's going with these compute units and how they're actually broken up. So they actually did fundamentally change how the devices were created. And then with this chart, they're actually talking about the Infinity Cache, and they actually have it highlighted here on the chip design. And what's interesting is 5, 10, 15, 20. They've actually, let's throw that on the big screen so y'all can catch it. Of course, you can't catch it because my fat head's in the way. So what you'll notice, you probably can't see it from the contrast, but on the old die shot that we got, there was only 4 columns with 4 rows plus 2 additional for a total of 18. But in these die shots, there's 20. So that makes me think that there's potential for some bigger and higher SKUs coming in the short term. So keep that in the back of your head in case y'all are curious. But the Infinity Cache is going to be bordering on the architecture, which is going to hopefully tie everything together. I'm curious if the cache is that big block in the middle or not. God, my dog is not being happy. But so this chart specifically is talking about the memory bandwidth on the chip itself and the bandwidth going off the chip. So what it's actually comparing is against the 3080 and the 3070 directly. If y'all watched some of the NVIDIA reviews that came out yesterday, the RTX 3070, I believe, has a 256-bit GDDR6 bus interface. So what you'll notice is, what are they normalizing everything to? They're normalizing everything to 384-bit bus, and it's like 70% as high of bandwidth. So keep that in the back of your head if you're curious between, what kind of bandwidth you're going to get between a 3080 and a 3070. But one thing I find really interesting here is This is GDDR6. It's not GDDR6X. So it's not a direct comparison against the 3080, but it is pretty close. So keep that in the back of your head as well. But then here we go. We're going to actually factor in the Infinity cache, and they're claiming a 217% increase with the bandwidth. Sorry about the dogs, guys. They've been acting up all day. I'm probably not going to be posting this video too much, but I appreciate y'all sticking with the channel. But they're doing this at a 90% power efficiency with less memory bandwidth. So that is a pretty big design win for me. And I also think that this is going to be factoring into the 1440p results as well. Hold on just a second. The dogs are just starting to yell at each other downstairs, and that's not okay. But anyways, so the Infinity cache definitely helping out where they didn't want to spend the extra money, and that confirms the different leaks that we got from Red Gaming Tech on why they went with it, as well as why it's going to be so pivotal for their performance. So now we're actually talking about here the performance improvement based on just the new 7nm node improvements. And going from RDNA to RDNA2, they're seeing, I think they claimed about a 30% more frequency increase. And I'm wondering what they're basing the 30% off of, because the 5700 XT frequency, I think, was like 1700 megahertz. And if you're only getting a 10% improvement there, you're going to get closer to 1900 megahertz. And if you're getting 20, you're going to get above 2 gig. And so it's like, are they really getting true 30% frequency improvement, or is this more of like a mathematical hoop jumping through hoops to get to that 30% improvement? Yeah, my dogs are so happy. No joke. I had to just yell at them to get them to stop. Isn't the bandwidth around 500 gigabits? We could make that math real quick. Unfortunately, this is at 100% scaling, so they of course don't give us the full number. But if you were to get the bandwidth number for a 384 bit interface, you can multiply it by 2.17, bada bing, bada boom. And luckily with these kind of metrics, these are synthetic numbers, so the math usually does scale pretty well. So if you were to go and do that, you could. But moving right along, this is the coolest chart that I actually thought. This is the actual performance per watt that they were going to get. Of course, we're going to need to get more information from AMD regarding this specific slide, but they were able to actually get 54% performance per watt, which I love it when design teams are able to hit their targets and actually overachieve, which is always great. But they broke down that 54%. I don't think these are scaled appropriately, so don't take that into consideration here. But they got the 50% performance per watt with frequency increases, power efficiency, as well as performance per clock. So a lot of the stuff that's been being leaked over the past several months, it is being confirmed. But I will say, though, guys, you keep saying that, the IPC performance is going to like triple the FPS output. Of course, I'm exaggerating here. But all of these figures are going into that 50% performance per watt figure. So if you are getting overly optimistic about what RDNA2 is going to be able to do, that's where some of that confusion was coming from. But basically, this is proof positive that we're able to get that 50% performance per watt as they said. So now our RDNA2 guy comes up actually and announces the 6800 XT, 72 compute units, a game clock of 2 gig, and a boost clock of 2250. These are the AMD reference cards, so we still do need to hear a little bit more from our AIB partners. And that's where I'm kind of curious where some of these leaks are coming from. Let me see if I've got... if I pulled up my YouTube video, I think, let me see what I got. Pardon me while I do a little digging real quick, guys. By the way, y'all should check out my latest video. It's pretty good. And I will just go and say right now, guys, that my original performance projections are way off compared to what we had in these past couple weeks. So definitely, if you're interested in looking at any of my performance metrics, go to the FPS predictions or FPS confirmed and last week's video. Those are the more accurate models to go by. Do I have the whole monitor up here? Yeah, so 6800 XT. So we claimed it was going to be 72 compute units with a boost clock of 2275. Boom. We were 25 megahertz off, and that was from Cortex. And then the game clock was 2225. That was off by 10 megahertz. Big deal. So I actually came up with this 1835 metric, and that's basically taking the boost clock and doing 80%. So if you were interested in doing the base clock speed, that's how you would do it. So this card is going to be roughly between 21 teraflops and 20 teraflops, which is awesome because I think the 5700 XT was like a 7, 8, 9 teraflops. So they're effectively almost tripling their performance teraflop wise just by doing this by adding the new compute units, which I think is awesome. So the first thing we got wrong with our predictions was the total board power. So we were using the original TDP values and then going through the Igor's lab leaks in order to get to this total board power. So there might be some gap between what Igor was doing and what AMD was able to shave off for X, Y, and Z. And maybe they've changed their total board power specification. Regardless, we're really close. Performance per watt, we claimed 56%. Watts per compute unit. So guys, we were pretty damn close when it comes to the leaks. Or I should say Cortex and Moore's Law is dead. They were pretty dang close when it comes to the leaks there. They were a little over optimistic with the boost clock. But again, that's fine. That's all fine and dandy. Did we get any more chats in here? Nope, no new chats. So let's keep on going. He just kept talking about that stuff. And this is where I'm more concerned about with the reveal today because, actually, no, let's go to the other one. There we go, cool. So this, let me throw it on the big screen real quick. Boom. So this is the actual FPS values that they were showing against the 6800 XT versus the 3080. And guys, we are sitting in a good spot. The RTX or the RX 6800 XT trades blows with the flagship from AMD or NVIDIA. It beats in 1, 2, 3, 4. It beats it in 4 games. So I think Red Gaming Tech over the weekend, he claimed that it was going to beat it in 5 or 6 games. So he wasn't exactly right, but he was pretty dang close. There was no 1440p data shown at the event. But if we take what Red Gaming Tech claimed in his video, 1440p is going to heavily be impacted by the Infinity Cache fabric. So I'm pretty sure that 1440p performance is going to be smoking, which is awesome because I game at 1440p. But this also begs the question, guys, what do we have going forward? We did some predictions in the previous video. We were only looking at Borderlands 3, Gears 5, but there's a bunch of other games that I actually have data on that I can show you guys really quick. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I don't have Resident Evil. I'm going to have to go and dig through Hardware Unbox's data to capture some of this because, yeah, a lot of these games I don't have information for. Most of these games I don't have information for, which sucks. Division, I do have Doom Eternal. Yeah, we got some stuff. I'm throwing some charts together so I can show you guys what we've got going for us going forward. Let's do a little more math. Just while I'm doing this, guys, what hyped you up the most in this from this release? Were y'all pretty much happy with what you saw, or were you expecting more? Were you expecting less? Let me know in chat what you guys were thinking about the latest and greatest from AMD. So one thing we can confirm is that all of our PPW performance metrics are pretty much spot on. I'm going to also need to update this with the RTX 3080 data. What? Oh, I didn't extrapolate all that crap. I'm going to have to do that, unfortunately, for this week's video. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell icon so y'all can get up to date with that. But we're going to be skipping around a little bit here. Let's throw this up on the chart as well, or up on screen. So this is my performance model that we've been using for the past several weeks. And right here we've got in blue the RTX 3090, in yellow we have the RTX 3080, and the 6900 XT performance per watt. This is based off of the performance per watt model at, I think I was guessing 360 watts. But what they actually claim later in the video is that they got a performance per watt at 4K with the 6900 XT right at 64%. So now that we've gotten a lot of these details, guys, I can tell you what your games are going to perform like, which is awesome, or within the ballpark. But anyways, we've got information for a lot of these games, and sure enough, the 6900 XT, it's sitting pretty, dude. It's going to be one of the best cards on the market right now. Again, I'm going to be posting a lot of this data later this week. I do need to refresh it. I haven't. It's not that I don't have the data and I'm pulling it all out of my anus. I just didn't copy the cells over, and I don't have really time to do that right now. But basically, going back to the video, the RX 6800 XT at 300 watts, very competitive with the 3080. And then this is where I think things are going to start to get a little weird. So there's this new overclocking mode called Rage Mode. And if you've got Rage Mode enabled and you've got, I guess it's a Zen 3 based CPU as well as an RDNA2 based GPU, there's going to be this new enhanced memory access based on APIs and stuff that's going to enable direct access to the GPU memory. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to pan out. Is that going to be basically are the developers going to have to build this into their games, or is this driver-based? And if it's driver-based, how do the developers get access to it? I don't know. We're going to definitely need to do some additional research with this feature. But if you guys have been hesitant to go on a full Team Red gaming PC, they've got you covered from hardware all the way to software this time around, which I find excellent. Yeah, dude, Asdad, sometimes people are they're like that in the comments. Honestly, I was getting a lot of that as well in my comments. But yeah, dude, appreciate you coming by the stream, man. But yeah, appreciate it. So let's talk about the price. Oh, crap. There we go. So this is another performance chart. I'll go ahead and throw it on the big screen as well. Basically, what they're taking is the RX 6800 XT with their latest, I don't know, they don't say which processor it is in here. It might be in the fine print later on. But once you've got, oh, and this is using the best APIs. So this could be comparing DirectX 12 with Gears of War on NVIDIA with Vulkan on AMD. So you do need to keep cognizant of some of the funny, fancy business they do here in these charts. But basically, once you get an all-red gaming PC going on and you turn on the Rage Mode boost and you get all this extra stuff, you are able to get some pretty sizable games, at least 2%, which is, you know, nothing to shake a stick at. But you can get up to 13%, at least in Forza Horizon 4. So I think AMD's finally got an honest competitor when it comes to gaming. They've got some additional software features that I don't want to get, you know, too much more into the weeds about, but there's still a huge question looming in the back of my head, and that is how they're going to be doing ray tracing. Now, they do confirm that, and I think we had a good idea about this going into the event, but it's going to be DirectX 12 Ultimate compatible, and it's going to be using DirectX 12 ray tracing, which I want to say is more of a software-based ray tracing using hardware-accelerated components. So I think that kind of confirms that the compute units are going to be doing the legwork when it comes to doing the ray tracing. We'll have to get confirmations on this. So it doesn't sound like there's any dedicated ray tracing hardware on the chip. It sounds to me that this is all going to be within the compute units. So then that begs the question, we can talk about it in future slides up here. They started talking about some of the games that are coming out. To be honest, none of them looked really cool. The 6800 got announced as well. 250 watts for the total board power, 60 compute units, boost clock speed, 2105. What did we say the 6800 was going to be? Sorry if I'm sliding around in here, guys. I'm trying to find the chats. Oh no, that was I think it was over here. Yep. So 6800. There we go. So the 6800, we called it boost clock of 2100. So the Cortex leaks was correct. You're looking at a 17 teraflop machine there with a, like I said, I did over-report the wattage. But yeah, 50% on the performance per watt. It's looking good. And I think they also confirmed it was 64 compute units. Oh, it's just 60 compute units. So we do need to make a correction there. But regardless, it's still pretty dang close. Let me, the base clock, or the game clock was 1820. Yeah, so we were, the leaks were pretty damn close when it comes to the 6800. Oh my gosh, there's so much good news to talk about here, guys. We could talk about this ad nauseum. My dogs are starting to dig around downstairs. Okay, so we do have some special caveats here with the chart deck. My dog's now chewing on his puppuccino downstairs. And sorry if I'm a little frazzled. This is all live reactions, guys. I'm trying to get it as consolidated as we can, but, you know, that's what happens. All right, so RX 6800. This is going to be the, heck, I wouldn't even say it's the direct competitor to the 3070 anymore. We saw some of the 3070 reviews yesterday, and that was from 1440p, 4K, ray tracing turned on, everything. The 3070 is right on top of the 2080 Ti, which in this chart, the 6800 beats it pretty handsomely, if I'm not mistaken. Battlefield 5, you're getting almost a 20 FPS improvement. Borderlands 3, this is 4K also, so keep that in mind. You're getting close to a 15% or a 15 frames per second bump. Call of Duty, you're able to get 60 FPS. Division 2, it was right on top, which I find interesting because Division 2 is supposed to be an AMD game. Anyways, Doom Eternal, this was a surprising result for me because Doom Eternal heavily favors NVIDIA cards and Intel processors. And if you look down here at the bottom, this is with the Smart Access Memory. So that means they're using the Zen 3 based CPUs. We don't know which one it is. And they're using the 6800 XT or 6800. So they are using the best APIs in order to get this enhanced performance. I want to say Doom Eternal. There was a chart with Doom Eternal with it. There it is. So with Doom Eternal, they were seeing only a 2% improvement there. So these are a lot of the things I'm going to try and take into account into this week's video. I'm going to have a lot of math and numbers to deal with, unfortunately, going into this weekend. But it'll be good for you guys. But needless to say, if you're going to go back through these charts, keep that in mind. If you're going to be playing some of these games and you're expecting, you know, astronomical performance, you don't get overhyped about it, you know? Enough, just take my money. The big question is which one do you want to take your money? 6800 is going to be $580. I want to say that's cheaper than the 3070, or no, the 3070 was $500 MSRP. MSRP $500. I'm pulling it up right now on the NVIDIA website. Yeah, so if you can find an RTX 3070, you're sitting at $500 for a Founders Edition, which I hear is a really good card. So is $80 worth it? My dog's still not happy with me. I don't know. Is $80 at 4K worth it? And then this is the 1440p. Oh, wow, it wins all across the board. And this is using smart access memory again as well. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't get oversold on stuff. Yeah, I don't know if $80 is worth it. I don't know if $80 is worth it. But there you go. There's the 6900 XT, guys. 80 compute units, boost clock of 2250 megahertz. Let's see what the leak came up with. Or what we said with the leaks. 6900 XT. I think we'd put that one up first. Yep, 6900 XT was the first one I put up there. So we said 800 compute units with a boost clock of 2300. Yeah, people were being way too over-optimistic when it comes to the boost clocks. And the game clock, again, people were being a little over-optimistic there. But still, it's a really good performing. It's got plenty of performance per watt. I did way overestimate the power consumption there. 300 total board power, which is phenomenal when compared against this 3090 as well as the 3080. But let's take a look at this chart. So this is what I'm going to be focusing a lot on with this particular card. AMD was able to get 65% performance per watt, and I do believe this is at 4K. I thought I had saw somewhere that they had that little nugget of data on that chart. I'll have to comb through it again later. But basically, if you check out last week's video, all of my performance metrics spot on. If y'all are looking for a more generalized overview of stuff, I would highly recommend you guys share that video with your friends if they're wanting to see what performance is going to look like. 5900 XT plus a 6800 XT, I think that's going to be the winning combo for a lot of people. I do agree. Oh, Travis, is AMD stock skyrocketing? And then the last thing I wanted to cover in this video, 6900 XT versus the 3090. We've been saying this a lot now, guys. The 3090 is definitely not a good graphics card for gaming. And if you actually want to... where's that chart? There's the availability dates. 6800 series is available in about 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, AMD stock actually dropped, really? I would have thought it would have gone up. Because they have a direct competitor with their cards. And it all depends on stock at this point. $1,000 for the 6900 XT. That's a pretty steep price. And I'm going to have to work through all the numbers, put everything side by side, and do a direct comparison that way. But $1,000 is like $400 cheaper than the 3090. You aren't getting as much VRAM on this card as the 3090. It'll be interesting to see if there's going to be enough... Oh, not dropped, is dropping. Gotcha. But yeah, guys, I think AMD's got a solid lineup. This is all kind of a precursor for this week's video for the channel. It's going to be a heck of a run. we've got confirmed the 6900 XT, the 6800 XT, the RX 6800. We've learned about a new feature. It's the smart memory access. If you're going with a Team Red build, you're going to get additional FPS performance. Still need to see some more information about that. We've got all the prices. We'll talk about it in this week's video as well. I think it's $580 for the 6800. It's going to be $650 for the 6800 XT and then $1,000 for the 6900 XT. So I think the top two cards are going to be competitive price-wise with NVIDIA. Unfortunately, I think the 6800 is in a weird spot. We'll see if they tweak those numbers at all. But guys, the biggest thing for me from this entire reveal was that the FPS performance that we've been calculating for the past two to 3 weeks has been spot on with what they've been presenting at the videos today. So guys, I hope you guys subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It gives me a little extra credibility and it gives me a little extra warm fuzzies. But this week's video, I can kind of give you guys a teaser towards the thumbnail. I'm actually working on it right now. Boom. NVIDIA, you got a battle coming. It's going to be a good video. So guys, appreciate y'all stopping by the stream. I hope y'all have a great night. We'll be back on Twitch later tonight. We'll be talking about similar stuff. Hopefully have it a little bit more concise and well-rounded. So if you want a more thorough analysis, check back over at Twitch tonight. And then, of course, check out the video this weekend. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. Back to work.